phones on vibrate or silent, so you don't have to, disturb us with your phone ringing. Then there's a washroom towards the back end of the room. When you go outside there, the ushers will show you, but there's a washroom there for both, of course, gents and females. Just in case you want to use the washroom, just walk down the aisle to the left, and you go ushered into the washroom as well. Today's program is going to be very short, but let me just start off by introducing some of the guests that we have in the house. I'll start from the names that I see around here. Our special guests today are 170 NSPs who will be serving their time in the NCA. May I see you on your feet, service personnel, for this year? These are special guests of honor. Thank you very much. We also have some directors and staff of NCA. May I please have your feet as well? Just to wave, we know that you are here. Thank you very much. Then I can see my former boss from Airtel, Madam Christ. Then there's Roshi from Tigo, Yolanda from Vodafone as well. Welcome. And on the high table, from my extreme left, is the Acting Director General for the NCA, Joe Anoche. Then there's the unmistakable face of the Minister for Communications. Yes, unmistakable. Madam Esla Osiekufo. Then we have George Anda, Deputy Minister for Communication and MP for Ewutu, Senya West. Then we have the board chair for the NCA, Mr. Kweku Sichiado. We are expecting a very special guest in the person of the Vice President of the Republic. As you know, just this morning, the free SHS has been launched at the West Africa Secondary School as was in Adenta. And he was there, but we are told that he's on his way. I'm sure you saw the advanced party, making sure that everything is safe around here. So he'll be joining us very soon. Once again, welcome to the NCA. I'm not qualified enough to tell you why we are here. I've given you a hint of that. But the person who is most qualified to do this is the Acting Director General of the NCA, Mr. Joe Anoche, and he'll be telling us why we are here.
Thank you, Kwame John. It's noon. So good afternoon, everyone. Wow. Our Minister of Communications, Honorable Esla Osiekufo. Deputy Executive Director of National Service Scheme. The Chairman and members of the Board of Directors of the NCA. Chief Executive Officers and representatives of the mobile network operators. The National Cybersecurity Advisor. Representative from Kofi Annan, management and staff of the NCA, national service personnel, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the management and staff of the National Communications Authority, I first of all want to welcome our very special guest for making time to be with us this afternoon, I should say, and on this very unique occasion. Let me also extend the warmest of wishes to the new members of our family, the National Service Personnel, who will be spending the next year with us and working for the NCA and for the mother Ghana, the country we so loved. You are all welcome. Enhanced capability, unique career building blocks, and networking opportunities with a world-class regulator. That is what we at the National Communications Authority wish to impart onto our national service personnel for the 2017-2018 period, as this year's service experience with the NCA will be extraordinary on all many different fronts. Ladies and gentlemen, the NCA is undertaking a first of the kind project to ensure that national service personnel attached to the NCA will from today be undertaking a 2-month bootcamp which is part of a year-long program to obtain the necessary skills and confidence to contribute to our strategic goals. The NCA program for the 2017-2018 National Service Personnel has structured activities beginning with a boot camp to give the service personnel the opportunity to participate in to the enhance of their skills, share their knowledge, and benchmark their ideas with that of their peers, while at the same time extensively prepare and expose them to the corporate world. Even more importantly, the quality of the exposure will be unprecedented as the NCA has taken steps to ensure that well-resourced facilitators deliver the training which will enable them obtain relevant insights and understanding of the current and emerging industry trends and developments. To add to this, the authority has also arranged for external resource people to deliver soft skills training and entrepreneurial motivational talks. We are hoping to see a crop of personnel who will learn what it takes to be part of a world-class regulator that shapes and drives its own performance with the NCA's core values by participating in the various fun-packed team-building, performance-related activities and events. Okay, so I'll pause. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
May I use my powers as MC to pause the speech? The Vice President is joining us in a few minutes, and I believe the DG want to go and welcome him. Yes. And then when he's back, would continue from the speech as well. So whilst we wait, I recall when I did my service with CTFM in 2005 or 6, I think 5. I walked into a newsroom. Was it Fred Chidi who was the news editor then? I think it was. I got there around 7:30, and then he said, "Hey, you're Kwame, right? Okay. It was some court case at the High Court. Pick a recorder and then go." That was it. That was my induction. I wasn't given a 2-month training. I wasn't told how to use a recorder. Of course, I had done that before with Universe, so he assumed I knew it. And I went. At the program, I was called up. Do you have any updates for us? I'm like, it's still ongoing. Yeah, is there anything that you want to report on this? Like, okay, yeah, sure. So I gave an update. So my first day on the job as an NSP was like that. And you guys have a whole 2 months to learn how to be in the corporate world. So you're quite lucky, I must say. And I would like to commend us at the NCA for giving you that chance to do so. Hopefully, others will also copy us. Ladies and gentlemen, please let's be upstanding of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud. You're welcome, sir. And at this point in time, may I kindly ask the DG for NCA, Mr. Joan Oche, to please take his speech again. Thankfully, you had gone only 1 page out, right? Please start it again for us. Thank you very much. Yes, please.
Okay. His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic, our Minister of Communications, Honorable George Anta, Deputy Minister of Communications, Executive Director of National Service Scheme. I know both deputies are here. The chairman and members of the board of directors of the NCA, the executive officers, the chief executive officers and representatives of the mobile network operators, the National Cybersecurity Advisor, management and staff of the NCA, representatives from Kofi Annan, national service personnel, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the National Communications Authority, I first of all want to welcome our very special guest for making time to be with us this morning, again this afternoon, and on this very unique occasion. Let me also extend the warmest of wishes to the new members of our family, the National Service Personnel, who will be spending the next year with us working for the NCA and for Mother Ghana. You are all welcome. Enhanced capability unique career building blocks, and networking opportunities with a world-class regulator. That is what we at the National Communications Authority wish to impart onto our national service personnel for the 2017-2018 period, as this year's service experience with NCA will be extraordinary on all many different fronts. Ladies and gentlemen, the NCA is undertaking a first-of-the-kind project to ensure that the national service personnel attached to the NCA will, from today, be undertaking a 2-month bootcamp, which is part of a year-long program to obtain the necessary skills and confidence to contribute to our strategic goals. The NCA program for the 2017-18 National Service Personnel has structured activities beginning with a bootcamp to give the service personnel the opportunity to participate in to enhance their careers, share their knowledge, and benchmark their ideas with other peers, while at the same time extensively preparing and exposing them to the corporate world. Even more importantly, the quality of the exposure will be unprecedented, as the NCA has taken steps to ensure that well-resourced facilitators deliver the training which will enable them obtain relevant insights and understanding of the current and emerging industry trends and developments. To add to this, the authority has also arranged for external resource people to deliver soft skills training and entrepreneur motivational talks. We are hoping to see a crop of personnel who will learn what it takes to be part of a world-class regulator that shapes and drives its own performance with the NCA's core values. By participating in various fun-packed, team-building, performance-related activities and events. Invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, so why has the National Communications Authority taken up this task for a group of young men and women who will be with us just for about a year? There are a few reasons for the NCA's decision in this regard. The first of all, the training forms part of the key requirement of the NCA, that is, continuous training of its human resource base. We are in an industry which is known for dynamism, and these trends change very fast, so it is imperative to keep staff updated. For the national service personnel, it is their first prep into the space, so it is important we prep them adequately. Secondly, with this large number of energetic, young, and fresh minds, the NCA has felt the need to mold them to assist in delivering on its mandate and also to grow them for corporate Ghana. At the end of the service period, we want the job market to know that the national service personnel who were posted to the NCA are ready, have been trained, equipped with relevant skills, and are on top of their range. Added to this, and this is very close to my heart, added to this, 12 of them will be selected and trained intensively on cybersecurity, the goal of which is to build a capacity in this area and enable them to take up roles within the cybersecurity ecosystem in the country. We have realized that quite a number of Ghanaians are not clear on what NCA's mandate is. So for us, this is an opportunity to convert the uninitiated. Ladies and gentlemen, a survey commissioned by the National Communications Authority and executed by a reputable Institute of Statistics, Social and Economic Research of the University of Ghana indicated that only 13.8% of respondents from 5,200 households and 14,785 individuals were aware of the NCA and what we do. That is why we also want to use this onboarding and training program to train them and use their services to enhance the consumer outreach program of the authority. The NCA intends to increase the frequency and intensity of these outreach activities, which are aimed at creating awareness of the NCA and educating consumers and the general public on their rights and avenues available to them for information and complaints redress. There's an elaborate plan by the Consumer and Corporate Affairs Division in reaching out to more people on what we do, and the National Service personnel will play a key role in that process. Subsequent to that, we at the NCA will want to contribute in building the capacities of the National Service personnel for their upcoming service and beyond the service period. The training program we have designed ensures that they do not only grasp what pertains to the NCA and within the industry, but they will also receive life lessons to position them for their career. You know, the authority sees this as a win-win situation where both parties, the NCA and the service personnel, benefit from each other. To our national service personnel, it is anticipated that by the end of your service, you will remarkably change your life. The vast potential and improvement that you will find in your own capacities will also amaze you. I mean, no doubt that the unique experience you would acquire will sufficiently give you the necessary leverage to excel in any future endeavor. Upon completion of your service, it is expected that some of you will have gained considerable experience and confidence to venture into entrepreneurial innovations. Others will also acquire the unique skills to take and influence decisions in your social and academic life. Again, some of you will also build the necessary confidence to shape and implement proactive innovative policies and strategies in your future workplaces. There's no doubt, therefore, that your service at NCA will uniquely offer you the necessary advantage over your peers, as well as inevitably position you to impact the world with the peculiar NCA experience you would acquire. Thank you all for making time to be with us and for the support this program has become a resounding source. Hopefully, other organizations will take a cue from us and help grooming these young ones to help develop the nation Ghana we so loved. God bless.
Thank you very much, Joe Anochi, the Acting Director General of the NCA. Now, we'd like to now call on the group that made it possible for us to have these NSPs to train. And that should be the Deputy Director, Executive Director for the NSS, Dr. Gifty Authoriy Aboagye.
Yeah, it's fine. You can. We've always been together. Good afternoon, Your Excellency, Honorable Minister of Communication, Deputy Minister for Communication, NCA, Directors and Acting Director General. I think it's a happy day for us at National Service, especially when we know that the agencies we send our NSPs to really cater for them and they care about their progression. And this is one of the first. Apart from, I think, Cocoa Board, you are really doing seriously well when it comes to our NSPs. And we followed the NCA and we took a cue from the NCA, and this year we're able to build the capacity of our people, 20,000 of our NSPs, through a capacity building project, which was a 2-day throughout the various regions in Ghana. Your joining the NCA is not just to learn, but also to give back to the society you belong. For all this while in your lives, the society is given to you. So we believe that joining the NCA as our seconded staff, yes, to help also access Ghana to build a better and a brighter. Today, fortunately, in my dedication, we've launched the free access, and all these successes are going to happen if you and I believe in what brought us to the country. And we are here to make a change. From my acting executive director, Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, and my brother, Nana Boache Henry. We welcome you, and we believe that the 1 year you're going to be here, you're going to have successful stories, as we've always been reading. And at National Service, there's one thing we believe. Sometimes we see people marry, and we believe that this is going to be one of your first points to success. And many of you will be retained here, and we can write home a big story to say, this is the first time NCA is retaining at least about 50 of our people. So when we are writing our stories, because, you know, then we want our ministry to be the first, and it would be nice to see 50 of our NSPs being retained, and because they did very well. And I will be glad. My executive director will be glad. So till we see you again when you are ending your service, and we always have a big party for our people. God bless you, and take care of yourselves whilst you're here.
Let me just mention that. Hello. Okay. The promise to retain you didn't come from us. You can't hold us to that promise, and we shall not be allowed to be held to that promise. May I now call on the Honorable Minister for Communications, Madam Esla Usekuful, to give us her address.
Excellency, I know we're not supposed to say that, but it is a title that I believe we've earned, and so we will use it on pain of being sanctioned. So the President doesn't like being called His Excellency and has directed us so to act, but some of us not deliberately disobey him, but just drift into that habit because we like the swing of the phrase. So, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, the Chairman of the Board of Directors of the NCA, and the Acting Director General, Chief Executive Officers of the mobile network companies, leadership of the National Service Scheme, and distinguished national service persons, media, management and staff of the National Communications Authority. I'm really pleased to be here this afternoon to witness the beginning of this historic and brilliant idea to properly equip the young men and women who have recently completed school and adequately prepare them for their next step of their journey into the corporate world as they step out into the world of work. When the Acting Director General shared his thoughts on the plans he had for the extraordinary large number of service personnel that he had been saddled with this year, from 31 last year, they were giving 246 this year. So I had no idea what they were going to do with all of these people. And I was pleasantly surprised when he said, yes, let's put them to good use, because we do need to let more people know what the National Communications Authority does. We need to do a lot more community outreach and let people appreciate that they have an avenue for redress, and how, when they are dissatisfied with any of the telecommunication services that they are using, and how to access those services. So I like the idea. And I was even more thrilled because I knew that for those of the service personnel who really wanted to learn and acquire specific knowledge about this very technical industry that we find ourselves in, this was an excellent opportunity that they were being given. And I sincerely hope that these young men and women, bright young men and women, I know a lot more wanted to come into the NCA this year because of the way they treated the 31 who passed out last year. So you are privileged to have been given this opportunity. And I sincerely hope that you take full advantage of the training that is going to be given you. Boot camp connotes some kind of military drill or something, and very tough work. But I know it's being used loosely. You are not going to be subjected to any early morning drills and stuff like that. But you will be expected to take full advantage of the opportunities that you're being given. Some very excellent programs have been drawn up for you. And you're going to be given an exposure of a very, very fast-moving technological industry that you would find yourself in. It has an enormous potential for creating jobs. And it is only structured training and that will bring that to the fore. But I believe that if at the end of these 2 months you are willing to learn, we will churn out well-informed service persons equipped to appreciate the intricacies of this industry. And some of you would have identified potential future career paths to take. I am glad that the CEOs of 3 of our mobile network operating companies are here. For them as well, this could be a potential pool within which to draw from. And I think that the mere presence here also indicates that they are also excited about this idea, and they have to retrain even those that they employ within their organizations. And so if the NCA is doing some of the hard work for you and trimming off some of the rough edges before you engage them, that could also be quite a useful opportunity for you to explore. More importantly, many of you would also be exposed to some other opportunities to become entrepreneurs in this field as well, and to take advantage to create various mobile applications. I'm sure you'll be exposed to all that, which have economic potential. And within the banking, entertainment, education, communications, health, and several other fields. Even though a lot is being done in this area, there's still a lot that can be done. And I'm sure working together with the Accra Digital Center as well, we can also create some tech entrepreneurs out of some of you, if you want to learn. Ultimately, the buck stops with you. The opportunities will be provided. We have launched, the president has launched the free SHS this morning. If the government takes up the cost of paying for senior high school education and the young people go there and go and play, that would have been a wasted investment. I know they won't do that. If the NCA takes upon itself the task of upgrading your skills in this tech industry, and you choose to just laze about and not take advantage of it, that would have been a wasted opportunity. But seeing how eagerly you're participating and listening to all that is going on this morning, I am sure that is not what you would do. You would all take advantage of these opportunities. The president's, the government of the president is determined to create an enabling environment for businesses to thrive and to cultivate and support ideas that will assist in the collective growth and development of this nation. A number of agencies are working to ensure that these ideas don't just remain ideas, but become a reality. For you, service personnel, it is important that as fresh graduates, fertile minds, lots of energy. Many of us turn to you when we can't figure out our devices, and you teach your parents what to do with their devices. We hope that you will position yourself to take advantage of this opportunity and make it count. To my brothers from the Service Secretariat, and I know you will send my suggestion to Honorable Mustafa Yusuf, a good friend of mine, since he's so ably represented here by his two deputies, and I'm looking straight into your face while I make this suggestion. A lot more students are graduating from the increased number of tertiary institutions across the country. And we have a large pool of potential private sector employers. Could you consider waiving the fees or charges payable by these private institutions so that they can engage more national service personnel? Well, even if you lowered it, I believe if you did that, it will create even more opportunities for the private and public sector to train our fresh graduates, ultimately to benefit our country, and reduce the level of frustration the service personnel face in securing a place to do their national service. It was heartbreaking to hear so many of them taking letters to organizations which said, sorry, we're choked, we can't take you in. And some are still looking for places. So if you worked with the private sector, we could, I am sure, do a lot more for both the organizations and the service personnel as well. Let me once again thank and congratulate the board and management of the National Communications Authority for this very laudable initiative, and call on other agencies and institutions to also emulate this example. The national service personnel are not meant to go buy Kofi Brookman or to fetch papers from the printers or carry Madame's handbag to her car. They are not glorified messengers. However, and there's a caveat, if you're willing to apply yourselves, you may have to do a few of these things too, just to endear yourself to those who are training you. So they know that you are not glorified messengers, but they may ask you to do a few things which are not within your core remit. I urge you to also willingly accept, because that's all part of the training process. We hope that by building your capacity, you will retain some key knowledge. And in this year that you're spending with the National Communications Authority, and even if not all of you can be retained by the NCA, as I'm sure they may not be able to retain all of you, as the DG, Acting Director General, has indicated, some of you will be trained, selected and trained, giving extensive training in cybersecurity. And that is also a whole emerging area. I'm sure a lot more of you may even be interested than the 12 that have been earmarked for that. There's a whole new world of opportunity opening up in that space as we scale up our use of technology in all sectors of the economy. We do need to look at the more secure ways of using technology as we use more of it. So that's another opportunity right there. There are other agencies within the communications ministry which may also be needing the services of well-trained and hardworking, enterprising young men and women who are exposed to the peculiar nature of the work in this sector. So you may find opportunities in other sectors as well. I know that the National Information Technology Agency is also seeking to engage between 300 to 500 youth employment YEA personnel. And you could end up being one of those who would also man the government's IT infrastructure around the country. So please, and we cannot overemphasize this point, take your boot camp seriously. It may be the beginning of a very rewarding life journey for you. Thank you for your attention. I have to launch it. His Excellency will launch it. Yeah? Since you're here.
So you guys were happy when they told you that don't pick papers from the front desk, right? And don't go buy Kofi Brookman. We shall see. And Henry and Gifty, are you going to waive, what Madam asked you to do? You consider it very political for your board. Thank you very much. That's the way to go. So now, would like to kindly call on the Vice President to share a few remarks with us and to officially launch the NCA's boot camp for NSPs.
Thank you very much. Please have a seat. Honorable Minister for Communications, our Deputy Minister for Communications, the Chairman of the NCA, the Director General, captains of industry here present, members of the NCA and National Service personnel. Good afternoon. Gives me really great pleasure to be with you here today. The launch of this boot camp for National Service personnel here at the NCA. The President this morning just launched the Free SHS initiative, this historic initiative. And this initiative is being launched in the context of the importance of knowledge in the development of any economy. That at the end of the day, economists have come to that view that what really transforms economies is human capital. That is the key to our development. It's human capital. It's what really gets us to transform. So the consensus exists that, and it's the human capital that brings about technical change. The technologies are invented by people, and the technologies make the difference in our people. And so if you are growing an economy and a lot of your people don't have access to quality education, you have a problem. And that problem will hit you in the face much later on when you have a lot of social deviants and people who are not really fitting into the society. So the idea of free SHS is being launched in this context of building a knowledge economy for Ghana, because ultimately we are moving into an information technology world. And so the whole idea of information technology, ICT, and so on, is so critical for our development. I've seen on a sign here that it's digitime for Ghana. And I think I can relate to that, because I think it is actually true that we should look at this particular period as a digitime for Ghana, because we want to transform this economy by making a lot of changes in critical areas. And a lot of it has to do with information technology. The changes that we are going to bring, or that we are bringing, it's really very much, a digitalization of this economy. And we believe that if we begin that process and complete it in earnest, the transformative impact of it is going to be very important. I mean, if we are going to move in that direction, it means that we need all of you who are training here, whether you work for the NCA or you move on, work for GRA or set up your own businesses and so on. Whatever you're doing, IT is going to be a critical part of it. whether you are in the hospitals or in the schools, wherever. So this training is very, very important. This government has embraced this whole digitization of this economy wholeheartedly. And we are moving. We are moving. I mean, recently we decided that we had to make our ports paperless. We've been shifting paper as a way of clearing goods in this economy for the longest time. Well, an assessment that we made showed that there was a lot of inefficiency. And not only a lot of inefficiency, a lot of corruption that was involved in the movement of paper. I was, in fact, very shocked. I mean, they'll show you two invoices, one fake, one genuine, and you can't tell the difference. And they're so good at the forgeries that for people like me who, you know, maybe we are not trained in that area, we cannot tell, you and I. And so we said, well, the best way to go is to go paperless, so to speak. And so we gave the instruction in May that by September 1, Ghana, we should move and go paperless in the ports. People thought we were joking. But we pursued this goal in earnest, and September 1, we launched the paperless. But of course, not without attempts to actually derail the process, because it's hurting a lot of people who are making a lot of free money. And so, you know, people who used to take 2 weeks to clear a container, after 1 day of a delay, suddenly were protesting. I mean, you took 2 weeks to clear your container, but you've got a 1 day delay in the new system, and you are saying it is bad, they should reverse it. Are you protesting the system or something else? So we've, you know, of course, we are not abandoning it, and we've continued. And the results are amazing. We just looked at data this morning. First week of collections under the paperless system in September this year, compared to last year, first week of collections, September first week 2017 compared to September first week 2016. And collections have gone up 56%. 56% from around 130 million to 213 million Ghana cedi in 1 week. So, and this is not by spending any money. We have just changed the system. We've made it more IT-based. And that is all. You know, you're doing paperless, so you know, it's a very simple process. And by the time we really bed this system, hopefully by the end of this month or next month, that it's fully operational. You shouldn't really, if you don't have cause for, you know, having a joint inspection or there's a flag because it's based on a risk-based system, you shouldn't take more than 4 hours to clear your container. You know, and that is where we are going. And that should be within the next month or so. And it's working. I mean, when it started, the first few days, people were clearing in 2 minutes. And they were shocked because they had to call them to say, your container is clear, come and pay and take it, because they were still in the old mode. So digitization, paperless ports. In the next 2 months, we are moving to do another major initiative under the Ministry of Communications. Ghana is going digital in our address system. We talked about it, and we are going to launch it. And the next 2 months, we will start in October, and I think we will get the president in his own good time in November if he gives us the time to do a formal launch. But we are a country that with finding addresses has been very difficult. So by the cocoa seller on the right, the yellow kiosk to the left, and then you find a red house, and then we are there. You know, that type of addressing is a bit outmoded for the type of economy we want to build. And so what we have asked for is a GPS-based system, again, in conjunction with a postcode system. So the Ghana Postal Service is going to be anchoring this whole thing, and you will have digital addresses. Every bit of Ghana, even if you are standing in the river Yeji, and you say, this is my address, we'll be able to find you. Right in the river, we'll go and find you. It is a transformation. We will have addresses for every place. And we will start rolling it out this year. And that will become very, very key. We want to roll it out. Again, by November, God willing, the next bit of digitalization will be the national ID card. That is very, very critical. And we are trying to get the address thing launched before the national ID, so that when you come to register for the national ID, you will have your address as well, and we'll put it there. But it's all digitime in Ghana. We are moving to get these things done. The national ID is very critical for everything that we are going to do going forward. It's very, very critical. Whether it's health, whether it's education, taxation, everything will now be dependent on your national ID number, which will be the unique number which will follow you from birth all the way to death. It will be that one national ID which will define you in our socio-economy. So it's a lot of things happening. Of course, there is one more, which is the interoperability of the payment system. Again, we are planning to launch it in November this year. So there's a lot happening. Nana Akufo-Addo said he's in a hurry. So we are in a hurry. We are trying to put all these critical pieces of the jigsaw for a digital economy to be in place. And once we have all these pieces together, then we can think of data integration amongst DVLA, the police, passport office, and all of that, electoral commission, and all of that. We'll now have the platform to do it. So we are going to be moving into a very different economy. And, you know, all of you will be needed to make that economy work, because it is going to be an ICT-based economy. This is where we are heading. A lot of services will be delivered through the mobile phones, whether it's health or education or agriculture or making payments, and so on. We are moving digital. So this boot camp is really very, very important. And what you are going to learn as national service personnel at the NCA is very, very critical for this digital economy. We are very interested in cybersecurity, because as we digitize, our systems must not be vulnerable. And so this training you are going to be getting will be very, very, very important. And I am so proud of the board and management and staff of the NCA. I think what you are doing here should be emulated by other organizations. It should be emulated. But you know, I'm not surprised. You have a combination of Kweku Sechiado and Joe Anochi. That is a powerful combination by any standards. They will set the standards. So I'm very, very glad to be here. I'm very thankful for your participation, and I am most privileged to declare the NCA Boot Camp for National Service Personnel launched formally. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vice President. And just in case you didn't notice, this was not a prepared speech. And lots of things are hinged on digital. So you guys are very lucky indeed. If you take things seriously, you have jobs waiting for you in 7 or 8 months from now. So we've come to the end of today's program. A few announcements. The high table, that is the DG with the Deputy Director Generals, as well as the Minister for Communications, the Deputy and the Board Chair, and Directors of the NCA will go, as well as the service heads here, Roshi, Yolanda, and Lucy, will go to the boardroom afterwards for a brief refreshment. NSPs, you'll be here, and then the chairs as well to take your refreshments. Mind you, after this, you will come back here for the training to start. We'll start the training today. No break. Today. So you have your lunch, and then you come here for the boot camp. Yes, there will be no early morning showers, no late nights, bush stuff, but they'll be close to that as well. Trust me on that. The schedule that we have for you is intense and it's scary. So get ready. So once again, on behalf of everybody here at the NCA, let me now call upon the acting head of the HR, Charles Wilson Amwa Wilson, I beg your pardon, to come and give us the closing remarks. He's a brother of Charles Amwa, by the way, the former dancer.
Good afternoon. As he indicated, my name is Charles, the acting head of HR. Hence my responsibility to give these remarks, because after all said and done, the NSS will be part of our human resource. But before I start, today reminds me of something that happened to me when I did my service about 25 years ago in a remote village in Central Region. My first night, the roof was touched. So as I slept, I felt something on my belly, boom. Then I opened my eye like this, and I saw it was a scorpion. I forgot everything at that time. All that I could remember, I said, "Hey Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you." Having just graduated from a Catholic school, of course. Your Excellency, Dr. Baumia, Vice President of the Republic, our Minister for Communication, Honorable Esla Uswekufu, Honorable George Anda, Deputy Minister for Communications, Executive Director and reps of the National Service Scheme, Chairman and members of the Board of Directors of the NCA, CEOs and reps of the mobile network operators, management and staff of the NCA, national service personnel, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the board, management, and staff of the NCA, it is indeed my pleasure to make a few closing remarks and express our gratitude to all those who made this event a reality. We would like to express our sincere gratitude to the honorable ministers and our board, chairman and members, and of course, His Excellency for honoring this invitation. They have been very supportive, and we very much appreciate you. The Executive Director of National Service Scheme and reps, mobile network operators, and the media, we are grateful for your attendance. To our national service personnel, as mentioned earlier, we have outlined a series of programs and activities to adequately prepare you for this service period. Trust me, you will not regret this experience. Indeed, when we started receiving the numbers, we were a bit shocked. But we consulted and we declared that this year, for every one NCA staff, one national service personnel. It is in line with the times. As we integrate you into this world-class environment, you are required to work diligently, obey instructions, be professional, and show respect towards all staff and even among yourselves. The doors of the Human Resource Division are always open for your concerns and any challenges you may encounter during your stay. Do enjoy your stay, contribute your quota to the success of the Authority and Mother Ghana, and make use of the knowledge acquired to make Ghana the desired investment for telecom and ICT investments. Once again, I would like to express our appreciation to all present and trust that the rest of the day will be successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles. So once again, thanks so much for coming through. As I mentioned before, those on the high table with directors of the NCA and MNO's bosses will go to the boardroom for a brief refreshment. NSPs, you have your refreshment here. We'll assemble here at exactly 1:45, the NSPs, 1:45, to start our training. The first session will involve the DJ himself taking you through some slides, and they will have the deputy DJs as well being here, and all directors will take you through what we do here at the NCA. So your journey for the boot camp starts in roughly an hour from now. So once again, thank you so much for coming through. Please be upstanding as the vice president and the team go to the boardroom. Thanks again.